are safe. Like I would jump off in the crocodile pond.
That's perfectly fine there.
With no crocodile, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Man, we're back. Episode 28, the Dan and Ninko Show, and this is a special episode because we are at Southwick Zoo. We're gonna do some really crazy stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You're gonna wrestle the lion, the tiger, the bear,
maybe like a
monkey,
baboon or something like that. I think I wrestle the baboon and you try to outrun the hyena.
The hyena. No, I want to wrestle a hyena. But
wrestle a hyena?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
That's
could I beat a hyena up?
No.
So listen, in this episode, we're gonna go through the zoo. We're gonna walk around Southwick Zoo. It's a really awesome spot. We're gonna have a special guest, Roland, who runs and operates a lot of the ins and outs of the zoo. He's gonna join us, give us a tour. He's also gonna tell us some pretty interesting stories. So stay tuned. We heard a few stories, so stay tuned. Episode 28, the Dan and Ninko Show. We're at Southwick Zoo. Let's do this thing.
Let's go now.
So we're here in Southwick Zoo. I'm here with my friend Roland. He runs, I guess, everything. Built-in closures, transports all the animals, does a little bit of everything. Little bit of everything. All right, well, we're gonna take a walk through the zoo. I think we're gonna go check out the rhinos right now. You're gonna slap a rhino on his ass or what?
Yeah, let's go.
Right,
are you gonna be able to outrun it?
Yeah, they're slow. Rhinos are slow, aren't they slow? They're not slow? I thought they were slow. I need a beer.
67 Hampton Corvette ride.
Oh, he's going for it.
They're going fast enough.
Dad, I want it. I'm telling you. This would be a Dan O'Brien special in the dealership. Get them going.
My wife's raised more warthogs than anybody else in the country.
What do you rate them? You keep them in the house?
Yeah, in the playpen.
For how long?
So he sent me videos of. Didn't you have the little cubs? Didn't you have the baby cubs?
I had the lion cubs.
The lion cubs. He had lion cubs in his house. Did you say the monkeys, the gorillas?
Yeah, because they're so smart.
They're so smart.
They're so smart. To me, that'd be the biggest fear.
Yeah.
Them and the leopards. The leopards are.
Leopard. Yeah. Cheetah.
The cheetahs would be fine. The leopards.
So does anything actually freak you out going in to take care of it or anything? Or anything scare you?
Not really.
Okay.
I grew up with this stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna go check out the white rhino. Little hot in them rhinos. Name that
Bo
movie.
Allen?
Name that movie.
What'd you say?
It's a little hot in them rhinos.
Oh, that's Ace Ventura.
Pet Detective.
Mommy.
Buddy of mine, Squirrel and Doc, we were filming Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Yeah.
And then one of the, I never seen any of them, but in one of them, you guess
You never.
wrestles
Oh,
an
that's
alligator.
a great movie.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted me to bring him up an alligator. So I had it all lined up to bring an alligator. I thought they were just going to film it, you know. No, they wanted him to actually wrestle the alligator in the water. And I'm like, there's no way we can do this. I said, he'll get eaten alive, you know. It's like if they ended up using a fake alligator. But they wanted a real one. I had a big real one I was going to bring down to North Carolina. They filmed in Texas, North Carolina. And I was going to bring it down. I found out. I
Drew the line in the sand there.
my insurance won't cover that.
Jim Carrey being mauled by an alligator.
Well, isn't there an alligator here?
Yeah.
How big is that one?
He's about 550 pounds, 11 feet.
11 feet, 550 pounds.
Yeah, that's the one
Just,
Nate jumped on.
just pure muscle. Nate Solder actually wrestled that one, but there was 5 people on him, and it was taped up. It was all safe. Everything was great. Part of the process. That's good fertilizer. What's up, guys?
We'll have to give it a couple of minutes to let him out, and then we can go
Yeah.
out there with him and see him.
Has anything ever got out here?
Yeah, nothing major or big though, you know. Just had a few little monkeys get out and run around town a little bit over the years.
How long have they been here for?
These have been here. These are 2 females. These have been here for 6 years, I believe.
Okay.
The other ones we had, we lost a couple years ago. They were from the early 70 or 71. Wow. They were both in their 40s, which old for Rhino. Before they passed away, both old age.
So the average lifespan of a rhino is 40 years, roughly?
In
captivity.
But
Yeah. Which,
that's just me making it.
which just my own personal preference, I would much rather have, 3 square meals a day in a nice enclosure. No worry of poachers, no worry of any
Right.
animal attacking me. In a nice, saying hi to the people that love me, taking photos. It seems like a wonderful
Like Madagascar.
experience. Exactly. Can you go inside and see where the pens are? Or do you want to wait till they're, like the building that they're in?
We can go in real quick if you want.
Yeah, let's just take a look. Why not?
But you may stink like a rhino when
Win
you
in the
come
zoo. Win in the zoo. We might as well. You guys eating some hay down by the bay? I just may. What do you say? That's cool. So if your hand is here and they rub against you, would you hurt your hand?
Yeah.
If it's a soft spot or a hard spot.
How much do they eat?
That's Dwayne. How much are you, Dwayne?
Well, 1 bale between the 2 of them, and then it's like 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket of grain. So not too much for this size.
Wow.
Doesn't take much.
It's like, damn.
We're still the same money.
Are they coming? Yeah. Here they come.
Okay, see the camera.
Deeper. See how all the way in. See how smooth it is in there.
Wow.
GoPro, start recording. Here we go. We got the.
Throw me up like nothing. It's a big boy.
Ready? What Rob wants to do.
Dude, it's crazy. Look at that. It's so wild.
It's crazy.
Like, you can't even pick his head up.
No.
So you guys have an in-house vet here?
Yeah, we got Peter. He's a veterinarian, graduated from Tufts University. And all the students from Tufts come down here, well, not all, but quite a bit of them. Do their internship here, get extra hours and get experience here. We're so close and we got all the exotics,
When you guys acquire animals, you go check them first before you
Yeah,
bring them
depending
over?
on what it is. If it's, a lot of times the other zoos will do, when they come, they have health papers with them, so they have to have a whole physical basically done by another vet. Or they'll contact our vet and he'll fly out there and check them out.
This is my favorite enclosure in the whole park. Would be the white tiger and the Bengal tiger, both of which would decapitate us in 3 seconds flat.
They feed inside the enclosure?
They feed outside.
Okay.
So when you get them going, is it the lion that's more is more aggressive?
Just
scary?
by giving them meat.
Just give them meat.
Just give him the meat and he becomes super aggressive. He goes from
Wow.
being a big puppy to
6
super
to midnight, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now that guy.
Oh.
Whoop! Here we go. Oh.
They're coming for you, Rob.
Okay, please don't hurt me. Oh, they love each other. That's like me and Paige.
He heard me.
Look at him. You look like Brody. Brody's got those eyes.
Crazy eyes?
Both licking their chops. Oh boy. Whoa, give it a lick. That's insane.
Yeah. What do they eat?
Mostly beef.
Okay. Just raw?
Yep.
Razor blade.
Yo, whoa. No, they wouldn't do that. They're very nice kitty cats. They're nice. Yeah, they're nice. I'm telling you. You want me to go pet I'll go pet the kitty cat. They're nice. They're like kitty cats.
Yeah, they are. They're big cats.
Yeah, it's a big cat.
You can't have them for pets.
No, we can't. We can't. We can look at them, right?
Yeah, we know. They're like zoo pets.
They're zoo pets. Yep.
You want to go look
Boy,
at the
you're pretty
warthog?
smart, huh?
Yeah, I know, because I am so smart. And he's my friend. Weapon! Enough of him!
Look at it. He's looking. He's talking to you.
That's the get with the cats and that. Everybody wants them when they're small and cute.
Yeah.
And they grow up to be big and they have problems.
How strong is a chimp compared to? I mean, I'm not a normal man myself. I'm probably 3 to 4 times the average strength of a male. But how much stronger is a chimp than me?
I've seen chimps pick a guy up who's 275 pounds by his beard.
Whoa!
He was on an elevated platform, reach down, grab him by his beard, and literally curl him right up. Look him
That
in the
would be
eyeballs.
painful
Yeah.
because
With one hand.
the only
Yeah.
time I've ever wanted to fight a teammate was Marcus Cannon. And actually, we actually did fight because he grabbed my beard and he was grabbing me and holding me by my beard, and I had rage. It felt like I felt an instant rage of anger, and I wanted to injure. But it subsided after I got him to the ground.
So you just like kind of like blacked out a little bit.
I blacked out. Yes, I blacked out. I don't know what happened. I went.
Coaches were around you and everything.
Yeah, Bill actually said he was impressed by what I did because I give him the old hip toss and got him on the ground, pinned him down. This enclosure, which is impressive. So this is just structural rebar.
Yeah,
And then you sprayed it with this
rebar,
concrete.
wire mesh, and concrete.
So
Yep.
this is a question for the state of New Hampshire. I have a question. You have the old man, the face, correct, and that fell down. Why not create it out of spray concrete and recreate it, and you'd still have the iconic history
A
of?
buddy of mine has the contract if they ever decide to do it.
Because this is obviously it's not real rock, but it's just like Disney World, and they got all the
Yeah.
mountains. If you could rebuild it and make it exactly what it was, you still have all the signs with the face on it. You have
Right.
everything everything in New Hampshire has the face of the old man on it. Let's go do it. We could do it. We got Roland. He could do it. Come on, I'll go up there and tie off. So Ninko's coming. I'm gonna get the old man back. So these guys won't climb.
How far up to those trees did they get?
All the way to the top.
Okay. They just can't make it over.
Nope.
Oh, was he eating? What do they eat? Vegetables?
Yeah, the girls come in the morning, they throw them all over the pen. It keeps them busy all day foraging, you know.
Yeah. Wow, look at the male in the back. He's scary.
How close do you have to get before they start throwing crap at you?
Usually about 10, 12 feet. Tansy, the one who doesn't like me, she was born here.
Yeah.
And the other ones haven't bred. Jingles, she's got to be close to 50 right now.
Wow. 50?
Yep.
So a chimpanzee, can they get COVID
Yes.
from a human?
Yep, they can get pretty much anything you get, they can get.
And they can give it to you?
Yeah.
Can they give it to you? This is the same?
I'd imagine so, yep. But pretty much it's not much, if you get sick, you're going to treat them the same way your doctor would treat you.
Yeah.
Same stuff, same antibiotics, everything.
You like benefit?
Yeah.
He's like, you got anything for me?
What are those? Does he cut them off?
No.
They fall off?
He's a neutered male.
Oh,
He was neutered a little later than we normally do. This is another of our neutered males. We have 3 of them.
so they lose their.
He grew this, and he's been like this since. Won't grow any antlers. It's hormone based. You're going to stop. Yeah, you will stop growing antlers. I'm sad to say. Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? If you're more of a predator than prey, then maybe you won't grow your mane.
I'm definitely a predator.
Yeah. Well, there
Definitely
you
a
go.
predator.
You're beautiful out.
100% predator here. Me and Nate Ebner had this back and forth all the time on the bus rides to and from away games, that if I was in a battle with a hyena, that I would lose. And I would say, no way, I couldn't lose to a hyena. I'd take that thing, I'd give him the old headlock and a drop on him. So we'll find out right now
All right.
how big the hyena is.
figure that out?
Oh man, I don't know. He's looking at me
Go
kind of
show
funny.
him.
Yeah, Ralph.
I don't think I would like to see that guy. Whoa. Give me a little. Hey.
I think he was to this side.
No, that's Jonathan. He raised a lot of back and forth, opens it around, and you go right in the fence. Yeah, going back to what?
He's playing with you.
Molly's just watching you there, bro.
I know.
She wants to see the hyena just go right after you.
Yeah, he wants to attack me when my back's turned.
As soon as you turn your back on it.
He said he was going to be able to take him down. I don't know about that.
Oh, I smell a challenge.
I'm not touching a hyena. They're really gross and their urine's pungent. Very smelly.
So after seeing him that close now, you think you could take one down?
One of them I can. Two of them I'm dead. Singled up one-on-one. My life's on the line.
You taking one down?
Yep. What's up, Molly? What's up? Yeah, you want to see us, huh? I want to see you too. Hi. Hi. All right, so we just finished up the tour at the zoo.
Yep.
Pretty
Cool.
impressive. I still think I could take a hyena, but I don't think of I can't think of a better thing than after walking around, coming here to a lovely restaurant called Galliford's. Right, it's connected to the zoo. It's right here. You come out. It's a beautiful building. I think Roland built this whole thing himself, right?
Not hardly, not this one.
No, he's pretty handy. He's a handy guy. Way more handy than I am. But great food. Awesome place to hang out, especially if you
nice
got the
cold beer.
If you got the kids and they're driving you crazy after you're done with the zoo. You come here, you drink about 10 beers, and then you're good to go. You're relaxed a little bit. But had an awesome experience checking out the rhinos, the tigers, everything. I had a great time. The hyenas, I wanted to get in there a little bit with the hyena, but I'm a little scared. The giraffes is probably my favorite actual exhibit here at the zoo. The giraffes, there's a building where you can go up and actually feed them onto your hand, but since it's open to the public today and it's only their second day, they want to have the giraffes outside, which I get that. But we're here with Roland again. I wanted to talk to Roland and ask him a little bit about just being a part of a zoo and growing up. You grew up basically here, right? You grew up at the zoo?
When I was a kid, I used to put bumper strips on cars, the old cardboard ones with metal wire.
Yeah.
Back when all the cars had real chrome bumpers on them, you know. Get paid like $1 a day to put hundreds of those on people's cars.
Yeah.
And then just growing up here, I started when I was probably 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
Working.
And you dealing with exotics, I mean, you've transported giraffes,
Yep.
elephant, everything.
Alligators.
Alligators.
I worked for a company called Animals in Motion.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. We just transported animals from zoo to zoo to zoo, basically. Just
How do
going
you
around the
transport
country.
a giraffe? It seemed like
Trailers.
there would be a head issue
Well,
with height.
You have that, but you got to get. Hopefully, they'll sit down and they'll ride sitting down.
They'll just chill.
If not, though, we can only put them in 12-foot
Sunroof.
trailers.
You go in the sunroof?
No.
Get the sunroof?
Going down the highway with your giraffe boat.
Right.
There's a 12-foot
Right.
overpass. Uh-oh.
Right.
That'd be a scary. That'd be a kid screaming.
The giraffe on his head. Wasn't there a
Where's
movie
the
that did
giraffe?
that?
Yeah, I think there was
It
a
was.
commercial or something
I think it's a movie.
where the giraffe's head is out.
Something like that.
It is something.
Yeah.
Somebody tell us, because there's going to be a person out there that knows.
Yeah.
But we've been friends for a long time now, and I can think back on some of the great, awesome Roland stories. One of them, my favorite, being the kangaroo story.
Oh, a kangaroo about killing me?
Yes, yes. Could you?
That's your favorite. You let that off like that's
yeah,
your
because
favorite
it's
story.
it's a good story, and Roland's got a bunch of good stories.
Yeah.
Could you tell everybody that in that moment and how that happened and how you reacted to that moment and what the kangaroo was trying to do to you?
Well, it all starts off with 2 elephants and ends up in a kangaroo pen. But I had 2 elephants I was taking care of.
Yep.
People who owned them were working up here at the zoo, and they got married. They went on the honeymoon. So I was taking care of them. So I came here at night about 11 o'clock, and I gave them the final water for the night. We have them in a big stall, and they're chained up in the stall. And I watered them, and I went home. So the next day I get up early because I had to do the elephants before my regular work. So I come here about 6 in the morning. When I went down the stairs into the bottom of the barn, I noticed water. I mean, it was like 2 feet deep of water.
Wow.
I left the hose where the elephants grabbed a hold of it. So they grabbed a hold of it, they ate the end of the hose, and it ran for all night long. Filled the whole bottom of the barn with water. So I go in the elephant pen, I unchain them, let them loose, and everything was floating. Just, all the feces, all the shavings, and everything's floating around the barn.
It's good water.
So I'm like,
Clean water.
This is February, and it's cold outside. So I'm dressed up. I got like 5 coats on, all layers and layers. So I said, how am I going to get this out? So adjacent to there was a pen with all the kangaroos in it. And there was a door that goes outside. So I get the bright idea. I can go in there, open the door, let the water out of the barn. No big problem, no problem. But this was in the 80s, and we actually, back then, got a kangaroo from a buddy of ours, and it was the last kangaroo in the U.S. who actually boxed.
Oh,
Back
man.
in the 80s.
That's a bad. This is a buddy I have gave me a kangaroo. One of the last professional boxers that would box human people and give them the old gaga, Mike Tyson.
Back then, people just weren't as aware as they are today about animals and
head trauma.
This and that, right? But that's what he did. He was at a circus and he actually boxed. That was what he was doing.
Circus.
But we bought him, and he was a really good male breeder. He bred a lot of females. So I went in the pen with a shovel to pry the door open with, because I had all the weight from the water on it. So I was in there trying to pry the door open, and the male came up behind me, reached around, grabbed me, and started pulling me down, and was biting me in the neck. And thank God I had all those layers on, because they got pretty big claws in the hands too, but big teeth, and he just kept biting and biting and biting. And eventually he brought me down on my knees and got me down to the water level and pushed me under the water. This is 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like a big sponge now, because I have all those clothes on, so I'm filling up with water. So I go down there, and I'm trying to breathe, and I'm just getting mouthfuls of shavings, kangaroo feces, everything. So I was trying to stand up and
teeth? Kangaroo has big teeth, or?
Yeah, they got big teeth.
So they break your skin? You break your skin?
No, thank God, because
you had all the layers on.
If not, he would have ripped me up. So he pushed me down. He's clawing my face. And finally, I just got up, and I had the shovel in there I was using for the door, and I got up and just got a hold of the shovel and started smacking him behind me. I stood up, and he was there. When they stand up.
They stand up, and they're like, yo, what's up?
He's like
they want to go.
6'6", So he stood up behind me, and me and him were just toe-to-toe. And I took everything I had just to get around him and get out of the pen. But I was sitting there under the water, I'm thinking, I'm going to die right now. And, just...
Talk about a world of shit.
Yeah,
a world of shit.
Gonna get there and just
not only
have a good jab.
Not only does a kangaroo grab you from behind and impending doom of drowning you in a pool of 2 foot of water too.
Yeah, it was.
That's nuts.
It was a mess. So I came out of there and I went up the stairs to the top of the barn, and 2 ladies who worked there came in, and one was a nurse, and my whole face had little cuts all over it, like maybe 50 of them. And just clawing my face. So I was bleeding everywhere. I'm soaking wet. They thought I was, like a zombie.
That's crazy.
So, but yeah, so there's a lot of little stuff like that goes on, But then just growing up with the animals, I've had a lot of fun with it. I really have. And I got to go do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
I did a lot of movie work. Got that,
Dumbo Drop? Did you do that one?
Operation? A buddy of mine did Operation Dumbo Drop, but he was stuck in Thailand with his elephant.
I think that elephant was here, wasn't it?
Yes, you
so,
rode it.
Yeah, I rode that elephant that was in Operation Dumbo Drop. It was here, I think,
And
a couple.
She was in a lot of movies.
four
right?
summers ago or
I don't know if
something.
you've ever seen Elephants.
Water for Elephants.
That's
I've
her
read
in
that book.
movie
It's a great
there.
book, by the way.
Yeah, that's her in that movie there. My son was 12 years old. That's what his first job was taking care of her.
Yeah, I do read. Okay. Oh, the football player must not know how to read.
The books have to have pictures.
That's how I go to Waterboy. Hey, here's a Waterboy. Oh yeah.
But they're picture books, though, right?
You go right to the middle of the book.
Yeah,
So when I look at a big book, you see the little extra white section in the middle. You just separate the book and you go right to the pictures with very small explanations in there. We got fresh beers coming. You can come on in for the beers. We're in a.
You're too important not to
Yes,
have it.
yes. Thank you so much.
go,
What's your
you're
name again?
Nicole.
Nicole, the lovely Nicole with the fresh beer. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, no, that's. And then when you were doing like exotics, like adult tigers, like have you transported an adult tiger, lion?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How do you transport something that size?
Just crates. Gotta
Just
have
a big
really
crate.
Good tight crates and everything.
A really good crate.
So if you
really.
put something in
So they ain't coming out.
so if I was trying to transport something, you know what I'm saying, and I put it in the middle of a crate with a lion inside, now does anyone want to inspect that, or would that be like, hey, I don't want to go in there, there's a lion inside?
No, they won't. Well, we won't let them in there.
Yeah, they can't go in there.
Yeah,
So hey, don't listen to what I'm saying, but if I was transporting something, put a lion in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Put a lion in there.
Yeah,
They're
you're-
not going to go in there. The dogs are going
You're like a
crazy.
TSA
the
agent,
drug
you know?
dogs like
Yeah.
going, like,
Well,
yeah,
not,
there's a lion
not
in
to
there.
get into too much, but that's what it is. We've had people who were in the drug business, especially in the
Yeah,
80s.
yeah.
And they would start bringing stuff into the country, and they'd bring it right through like Miami International Airport, and they'd have say Mamba on the box, and they'd have
Mamba.
a live Mamba in
Black Mamba.
Yeah, yeah.
and they'd have fake
Yeah.
bottoms. And
Yeah, you're making $12 an hour. You ain't inspecting
People-
that.
no,
Nope,
no.
pass.
Say instant death. Instant death if you're bit by a mamba. Sir, there's mamba in here. My dog's going nuts right now. It's perfectly fine.
Say, I'll open the
Perfectly
door
fine.
for you.
But that's interesting though, because if you think about it, you have all these animals that are exotic animals, and we've all seen the Tiger King, that documentary, or the whole thing, the crazy guy that was on that, and how they just, because how many cubs are in a litter?
they can have 6, 7.
So imagine you have a litter and there's 6 cubs that are going to turn into what's a grown male turn into be? How big?
I'll say 350,
350
6
pounds.
killing machines.
6.
Right.
6.
They're really cute when they're like
six
that.
Malinois
Yeah.
could destroy a small army. 6 lions could destroy a city. But anyway, I think that the lion is my favorite.
Well, on
favorite
the
animal.
Tiger King, he had a lot of ligers, half lion, half tiger.
Liger, that's a
Yeah,
real deal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ligers.
half lion,
Just
half
a
tiger.
half-breed.
I thought that was only Napoleon Dynamite.
No, it was
And
real.
Liger.
those cats will get 600 pounds, no problem.
600 pounds.
Yeah.
So I had
That
always
big
had this fantasy. It's like, have you seen the movie The Edge?
Yeah.
Seen the movie The Edge? The Edge. It's with Anthony Hopkins, and he's like a wealthy man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're going on a flight through Alaska, and
Yeah.
the plane goes down. It's like a little Cessna, and he's with a Baldwin brother. I don't know if it's Alec or whatever.
I think it's
The good-looking one with the slick back. They're all good-looking, those guys. But now they're old. But we all get old. But it goes down, and they survive. And there's like this massive grizzly bear in the wild, and it's like hunting them. And like, if I always imagine, like, if you're in a situation where there's a grizzly bear up on its hind legs, and you just run at him full blast, like, you might surprise him. And he might be like, whoa, and then run away.
You could
What?
play that one.
No, but I'm saying,
my God, survival
if you
sports
know,
by
if you
Ninko.
know,
Yeah.
if you know you're gonna die,
I thought
I
you
would
see a
go
bear,
in.
you just
no.
play dead.
But then that's okay. So if I know that this grizzly bear that's massive on his hind legs
What are you
gonna
gonna
kill me
do,
with his
though?
claws, and I know I'm dying, I'm not going out like playing dead and rolling into a roly-poly.
So you're gonna run at him,
I'm gonna run at him and hit him as hard as I
and
can.
he's just gonna swipe the
and I'm
crap
gonna
out of
go
you.
right for the balls, and I'm gonna and I'm gonna try and stop him, and then he's gonna say whoa, and then run away.
That's the plan.
No, but here's the fun. Okay, so
Wait, hold on.
I know that's not
No,
gonna
no,
happen.
no.
I know that's never gonna happen. But I'll tell you a funny story. Ruby, rest in peace. I had a 200-pound English Mastiff, and this kind of gave me a sense of what a powerful animal can do. And this was a domesticated English Mastiff, best dog ever. But there was a moment where I pissed her off. She got a little bit angry, and usually we would play, and she would bite and like just play with me. But then this one moment, she got mad for a second, and she kind of looked at me and like squeezed my arm like just a little bit, and I was like, oh shit! Like I could feel that if she really wanted to, she could probably break my arm.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't imagine like a massive wild animal angry.
Yeah.
You're dead. You're dead.
So since you
Your
have
whole head's
experience
in
with
there.
animals, do you think Rob's plan would work? The grizzly bear standing up and Rob's just gonna go right at it?
All right, so Bill, I'll tell you a football story now. Bill, we were playing Buffalo, and they had this guy, Richie Incognito. Bill was telling everybody, don't run down the middle of this guy. He's too big. He'll maul you. And I had the same mentality. Like I saw him as a grizzly, and I said, no, I'm gonna go right through this guy. I'm gonna hit him right in the chin, full blast. I'm gonna try and knock him out, and I'm gonna run him over. I'm gonna get to the quarterback. Didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
So Richie Incognito, if you've seen the guy, he's had some issues. He's been arrested.
Kinda
He was
a
trying
little
to take
crazy.
his father's
Yeah.
head at the funeral home. Literally.
Didn't work.
Beat up his own Ferrari, which we love cars on this show, and I would never touch a Ferrari with
No.
a baseball bat. But
No.
there's probably some
Really?
things going.
CTE?
Yeah. See, I don't know.
Oh my
Some-
God.
So
some
it would have been the
issues.
same thing as like,
So
is you rushing on the edge of
Incognito
Trent Brown?
is playing guard, and it's a wide open blitz, like an able blitz. And I tell myself, I'm just gonna run through him. And he's not gonna expect it. I'm gonna give him a little stutter and then run through him. And I hit him as hard as I could, like full blast, and he like sucked me up and then threw me. Because he's a big dude. He wasn't on just protein. He was on that rock
Trent
shit.
Brown's like the size of a grizzly bear.
Trent Brown
Like a
is
small grizzly bear.
yeah, he's a very small grizzly bear.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", 350.
360, 350.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did he do to you?
He didn't do anything to me. He didn't maul me.
Okay.
He just moved me out of the way.
Last week, I think you said that was like the one guy you
No,
didn't
that's I
want
don't
to go
like
against.
going. I didn't like going against him because he was a guy that I. Usually, everybody that I see, I say to myself, "This guy can't do
Let's
it." But
redo-
that guy, I said, "Nah, he can move me." I don't
Let's
like
redo the
this.
plan with the grizzly bear thing, and you just play dead.
No,
Yeah, just be safe. Just die.
just die. I don't want to die that way. I want to die in a blaze of glory. I want to go out like just sprinting.
They're gonna say that idiot.
Yeah.
Ran
Like,
after that.
the bear's just gonna go like, look at you, like, what is he
and
doing?
then,
And then just
we talked about this earlier. A grizzly bear's claws are very dull.
yeah.
A cat's claws are very sharp, just like I used to have this cat, Putty. Was the word? No, actually, Putty was a great cat. We had a cat, Misty, that hated people, and my dad found him in an alley somewhere in Chicago. Captain
Actually
Insano.
makes sense.
Captain Insano found a cat in an alley that didn't like people at all because
And
it
he
was
was
a
like,
feral
this
cat.
is the best thing ever.
And he brought it home, and that cat punctured me, sliced me up, and you couldn't touch it. What's the point of a cat at home if you can't pet? Like, you couldn't touch it. If you touched it, it would bite you. So it lived to be 22 years old.
Those serval cats scare the crap out of me too. A friend of mine
Misty,
had
but
one.
we called her Putty. But anyway,
like those things that they make like these rattling sounds. Those serval cats that they have.
no, Putty. I'm having a brain
Yeah,
fart.
I know.
Putty was a good cat.
Yeah.
Kitty was a bad
You're
cat.
saying it's a feral cat. I'm talking about like those serval cats that
No,
people have.
Nate Solder has one.
Yeah, they're
He's got a
scary
cat.
as shit.
He's got a cat that's
They make, like, weird
this
noises.
Big. It's like that big. It's ridiculous.
Nope.
Nate Solder had a party at his house, and this was when he was playing for the Pats, and we all got completely hammered. We were doing keg stands, just completely drunk, and he was out in the backyard like. And Nate's like a happy-go-lucky guy. He's like, whoa! And the cat was like walking, because if Nate does this, he's like,
10 feet.
you're supposed to do, if you do this, you're as tall as this, and Nate's like 7 foot. So
Yeah.
like, imagine doing this with your arms.
Yeah.
The cat was like having a fun balance beam across his arms, and Nate was like, whoa, whoa. We had a fun time. But keg stands suggested.
Well, you were talking about Project Dumbo Drop. My
Yes.
buddy filmed that over in Thailand, and then he couldn't get back. I don't know how the filming schedule was, but he couldn't get back here because of health restrictions at the time for the elephant. He didn't know if he'd even be able to bring the elephant back, and he did eventually get it back, but it took him a while over there. So I was building a zoo in New Jersey, and a buddy of mine has a animal company where he does movie work and stuff like that. So apparently Walt Disney did the movie. They called him, and they were doing the promotions for the movie. And he had an elephant, and they says, "Hey, can you bring your elephant over?" Because the other one was in Thailand, and do the promotions. But he was in California filming America's Most Wanted with some dogs work. So he called me up and said, "Hey, could you take my wife and go over there to the show and do this? It's a 3 days you got to go back and forth for." And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess so, whatever, pays good. Just a few hours away." So I went there, took the elephant, brought him right downtown New York City, right on Broadway and 5th, I believe, were the streets there. At the time, I had a seizure prior to this. So I didn't even have a driver's license. I lost it because of a seizure. So now I drive this truck and trailer right down to New York City, and they have a guy come over with a 10-speed bike, and he's like, I'm like, "Where do I park?" It was Broadway and 5th, I remember that. And they're like, "Well, just park right here on the street, and we're going to go get a permission slip," like a permission slip from the mayor. So he runs over and gets a slip signed for me, so I can park in the street without getting ticketed or anything else. So I got the elephant parked in the street, and I'm on the David Letterman show with Ray Lolita.
Yeah, Lolita.
He was on the
Oh,
show.
from
No.
what's the movie? It's
Casino, all those ones that
No, Casino and then,
Ray Lolita.
Goodfellas.
He's in Dumbo Drop.
Yeah.
He's in Dumbo Drop. He's in Casino.
I know he's in Dumbo
Now
Drop, but
he's got the
Goodfellas.
facelift and
he's in
goes,
Goodfellas and Casino. That's like
Right.
the big thing,
Goodfellas, Casino.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the two
Yeah, but it was
movies.
him and Danny Glover in that movie. I never seen
Yeah.
the movie, but I remember it. Those there. So I brought him. That was the thing. I brought him onto the Letterman show. And riding the elephant on the Letterman show. We did a bunch of rehearsals and this or that. And then Carol, who I was with, brought him on when it was actually filming it. She wrote him on. Well, he was a big guy.
Yeah.
So we had him on the elephant, and he had to lie all the way down to get under the lights. I mean, they were really like going to burn his belly. Those lights are so hot. And they brought him on there. But me, I'm just young and dumb. So I go into the green room, or I think it was a green room they called it, back there. And I go back there, and there's this girl there, and she was asking me questions about the elephant, and I'm thinking, she was kind of maybe a little animal rightsy, but I wasn't sure, But good-looking, beautiful girl, short hair. And then she starts talking about her boyfriend. He plays tennis. So I have no idea who this is.
Agassi.
Yes. Brooke Shields.
At the time, Andre Agassi.
Yeah.
I remember Brooke Shields when I was younger with the long hair, Blue Lagoon, and she cut her hair short. And I don't watch movies very often or this or that. I'm lousy at names. And I had no idea. I thought she was checking me out at first.
Hey, the animal man. Hey.
And I was like, yeah, I got an elephant.
Yeah. I got like posing with it, like,
Hey, yo.
elephant.
Hey, you want to see the elephant?
But,
Okay.
But that was
I think the
different.
snout's that big.
But growing up,
All natural.
but we got to do a lot of neat things. I brought the same elephant to Donald Trump's birthday party. I went there.
Really?
Yes, I went there. I had 2 tigers. They were maybe 100 pounds apiece.
Wow.
I brought them down.
Where was this at?
This was
Was it
at
in Florida?
Nope, it was in New Jersey. I'm trying to think of the casino.
Trump Taj Mahal.
Nope, it wasn't Trump Taj. At the castle.
Okay.
It was at the castle, and he was married to Marla Maples. And so I went down there with 2 tigers, and I was at the front door where the people were coming in, the movie stars and people. And they'd come in, I had 2 tigers there, and they were filming it all during the day. And then Donald wasn't around at all. And then later on that night, he showed up for the party. And we brought the elephant in a freight elevator.
How is that? I mean, what's an elephant?
Well, you figure they had this in the top floor of the castle. But they'll do car shows in there.
So what's an elephant?
So the elevator is like almost the size of this whole patio area here.
Elephant weighs like as much as a car, right?
The elephant's like 12,000 pounds.
Yeah.
12,000 pounds. That's like 6 cars. A car is.
This was a big elephant.
My wide body Hellcat's 4,200 pounds. So that's
3 of them.
three. Let's put 3 cars in this elevator. I wouldn't be in that elevator. I'd say, where's this elephant going? I'll meet him at the top.
Yeah, I'll take the stairs.
I'll take the stairs, and then I'll meet you there.
But we brought the elephant up there, so I did the filming during the day. I think Robin Leach was there. Lifestyles, famous,
Yeah, wow.
So we filmed it during the day. Then at night, we brought the elephant up the freight elevator. And the deal was, it was the week he bought the Empire State Building. And it was his birthday.
Real estate.
So it started off as
Real estate.
Donald Trump he bought the Empire State Building, and then it got into a King Kong thing. Then by the time it was done, because I have different people calling me up for different animals and everything, you know.
Yep.
A buddy of mine had birds there. We had the elephant there. I brought the tigers there. We had all kinds. It turned to a whole African theme, you
Yep.
know, from just King Kong to that. But it was good, and he was a nice guy. I tell you,
Look, when I met him at the White House, I was looking at Secret Service guys, and I was asking. They had guys standing like this, right, like just stone, and I said, "Hey, does anyone get to go upstairs and see Lincoln's bedroom?" And he went, "I've never ever had anyone go upstairs." Ever in the history of the presidency. And I said, well, that's awesome. I'm going up there. So we're at the White House. We're at the White House.
Code red.
Yeah, no. So we're at the White House. This is right when Trump is the president, right? The first year, right? So we're on the bus and we're asking the guy who like gives the tour. I'm like, hey, it's like I was asking questions. Is this like different? Is this like a different presidency? He's like, we've never experienced this before. So we go to the White House, right? We go into the Oval. We go right into the White House where he has the office, right? He's just go out, have fun, go check out I'm sitting in the movie theater. I got pictures in the movie theater or the White House. I'm taking pictures of every room. They don't care. Like, and you don't go up in the living quarters. So like the rule is everyone can go where they give tours. You can go wherever you want where you give tours, but nobody can go upstairs. Nobody goes up to know like the layout of the White House. And we're in the office, and we're talking to Trump about, you know, somebody asked, what's that red button on your desk? You know? And he goes, room service. He said room service. So we're like, all right. And
yeah, I know you. You were probably like...
I wanted to touch it. Like, I'll take 2 Big Macs, please. We have many, many, many French fries. So we're talking to him. I wasn't talking. I mean, I shook his hand. We were talking, but somebody was like, "Hey, what's upstairs?" And he's like, "You want to go upstairs? Let's go upstairs." And everybody was like, "Let's go upstairs."
Really?
So the Secret Service guys are like,
you know, we got a guy going up there.
No, they're going upstairs.
Yeah.
They're going upstairs. So there's
Ninko
guys
is going upstairs.
There's the guys at the stairwell. He's like, "You want it?" Trump was like, "You want to go see the Lincoln's bedroom?" Like, yeah, let's go. So the Secret Service guys are like. You could tell because they're supposed to be like they're like having a front.
What the hell are we supposed to do?
They're supposed to have a front of like stoic, don't say anything.
Yeah, it's like the Queen's Guard.
Yes,
right.
It's like they're just like standing there with they got all their gear on. They're standing there like just stone faced.
Yeah.
And you get it, but then you see them like they're going upstairs, and then everyone's just like, oh. So as I'm going up the stairs, I asked the guy standing there. I said, "Has this happened?" He said, in the history of presidents, there's never been a person upstairs.
Really?
Ever. So we go up there. I'm looking at Lincoln's bed. I take a picture of his bedroom. Like, that's the bed he was in.
Ninko just taking like a selfie, like laying in the bed.
I got selfies. I have selfies just like posted up in the theater, like because they don't want you to know, like.
Yeah,
they don't want you to know the layout of, okay,
be.
this is the family room, this is Lincoln's bedroom, this is that, because I don't know, what am I going to do? You know, but it was interesting, that's for sure. I'm sure now there's one of those electric chairs going up the stairs. I was just kidding, I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
You ever seen Gremlins? Who's ever seen Gremlins?
I need a second.
You ever seen Gremlins?
Yeah.
So you know Gremlins where they eat after midnight,
yeah,
and they all go
start,
crazy.
like,
but then there's the lady that sits on the chair, and then like they're like ripping the cords, and she flies through the window. All right, that's enough. We're gonna get canceled. But anyway.
But,
so
he was a nice guy either way. Back to normal. He was
Yeah,
a
he
nice
was,
guy.
yeah.
He was married to Marla Maples at the
he's
time.
been married a few times.
And she rode the elephant. He wouldn't ride the elephant in. He refused.
So
it.
when I was on the elephant, I was a little nervous.
You gotta be.
It's
Are
a
you
little.
like 10 feet in the air?
I almost felt
how,
bad.
How high is it?
It's
but
12, 15 feet.
You're depending on the elephant, different sites and that. But the one he was on,
Yeah.
Ty, she's a big girl. He was probably a good 9, 10 feet.
Yeah, and I had Via.
Yeah, no, like
Via
you
sitting
fall.
there, Via sitting there, like, and I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
oh
like,
gosh.
I can't let her fall.
Yeah. She was like
yeah, I mean, you
3
fall,
at the time.
That's a big fall.
That's a far
Right.
fall. That's
Yeah.
a far fall.
Yeah. Or if the elephant goes up.
We all love Matt Light. Matt Light, big friend of mine. And I said, hey, I'm going to the zoo. We're going to do a show from the zoo. Dan and Ninko show from the zoo. And he said, well, you got to ask Roland, my favorite story.
Oh, okay.
Can you say the favorite story, or you cannot say the favorite story?
No, I the favorite story.
Matt Light's favorite story.
Matt's favorite story.
Matt's favorite story, but I don't want to, because we got to make sure that everything is even here.
No, this one is fine.
Okay,
this
so
one actually.
Just give us Matt's favorite story.
This one happened with a friend of mine, and she's died since then. She passed away, but I built a zoo for her and her husband, and
A zoo.
yeah,
Jeez.
in New Jersey. So to make a long story short, though, but this is going to be a little few-minute story.
That's all right. We love stories.
Yeah, I love stories.
Did you ever see the poster of the monkey coming out of the water and his head's all ice?
Yeah.
That's a Japanese snow macaque, and they live in the snow and they go in the hot springs. So everyone does a famous poster of that. But they carry a herpes virus, so you don't
Like a cold sore?
Yeah, it's one of the types.
I've
of
never had a
herpes.
cold sore ever, by the way.
I bet you have it.
Clean as
Rob
a whistle. I
declares
played
he does not
football.
have herpes.
I was a professional athlete. Come on, Paige. What are you talking about? We've been together like 30 years.
Deshaun Watson has 72 lawsuits against him right now.
Well, Deshaun Watson's an idiot.
Yeah, he played professional football.
He is an idiot. Let's check him for. He hasn't even been hit though. He's a quarterback. I don't know. It's genetics. Okay, the guy is. We're not going to get into the Deshaun Watson stuff because that guy must have an issue. Because whatever he was, the things that he enjoyed. I mean, you're a professional athlete. Come on, you've been able to enjoy your life and the things that you're able to accomplish at a very young age for a long time. At this point, having money and fame and being a star athlete.
Other avenues.
There's other ways. There's other ways. But all right, let's get back. Let's get back to the herpes.
So we get this call. I believe it was from Pittsburgh, from one of the universities out there. They were doing some studies on some Japanese snow macaques. So we got the zoo in New Jersey. So I don't know how it happened, but either way, we got these monkeys became our property. So I had to go pick them up. So the guy who owns the zoo asked me to go with his wife, who was me and her were the same age, and real tall, thin, pretty blonde. So we take a old Chevy. Remember they took the old Chevys, gas motors made to diesel, and they ran like hell. So we get this call to go to Pittsburgh, to one of the colleges or whatever, to pick up like 3 or 4 of these monkeys. So I take the van, the old Chevy van, and we put a few crates in there and we head out. It's like a 5-hour drive all the way through Pennsylvania. So we get out there, we get the monkeys, load them up, no problem. We're driving back, and we're coming down the 9 in Northeast Extension. Yeah, come right. No,
More beer.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
We
This
always
is
need
the beer
beer.
show. This is the beer show.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So we're coming down Northeast Extension, and there's a problem with the van with the charging system. So it starts dying. The diesel needs the electricity to keep the injectors going, So it starts dying. And Bridget, her family's pretty wealthy. She's like, hey, if we can just get a few more minutes on the road, there's a ski resort here. My father has a condo here that we own. Like, this is pretty lucky.
Lovely.
Great. So we pull into the ski resort. We make it that far, and it's got a basement. Up there, we pull the bottom of the basement and that. We take the monkeys, put them in the garage. Go
In the
there,
crate?
In the crate.
Or just let loose in the garage?
No, we put them in the garage, right? So, and there's a battery charger. We put the battery charger on the van. Figure it'll charge up. Next day we'll get back. Because we're just turning dark right now. We turned the lights on. It was getting really bad. The van wouldn't run. So we go in. She calls Burton up and tells his guy, her husband, that she's staying with me at the Northeast Extension. We're at the Northeast Extension. We're broke down. We're staying at their father's place. So he doesn't like the idea of us staying there, though, because she's a big drinker. And he's thinking, oh, my God, I don't want Bridget and Roland staying at this place. So then I got to call my wife now, girlfriend at the time, and tell her, too. And my wife thinks the same thing. I don't want Roland with her at this place. Yeah, so they're all bent out of shape. So either way, a couple hours goes by, and Burton calls up. He said, hey, we're going to come pick you guys up. He goes, I got Bridget's father, and he's got a motorhome, and we got a car cat trail we're going to put behind it. We're going to come pick you guys up, so you don't got to spend the night. Mm-hmm. I said, whatever. So about 10 o'clock that night, they show up at the resort. We go ahead, put all the monkeys in the back of the van, take the van, starts up because it's been charging, starts right up, we back it up, go to pull it on a trailer. It's got running boards in the van, and it's hitting the wheel wells.
Oh yeah, on the
so it wouldn't go on. It's a window van, So Burton, in a big hurry, he's like, oh, you know what? If it's running, we'll just take the van. We'll just drive back. You guys follow us. No problem. We said, whatever. So he gets his wife in the van, and he takes off down the road, and he's driving like a madman. He just, everything's 100 miles an hour and nothing. He takes off, drives down there. We pull up to we're 10 minutes behind him now because we're at the motorhome and all that. We pull up behind him, and he's at the toll booth where he was getting his ticket. And the van's just sitting there. So I get up and I run up to him, and I says, hey, Burton, what's wrong with the van? He said, it won't go. I'm giving it gas, and it won't go. So I get it. I take the cover off the inside in between the seats. I pop that off there, and this thing's loud as hell. Gas, it's loud as hell. So I look down there, and the spring is broken for the throttle. Had the old cables.
Yep.
So I hook it back up, get it going, and I tell him to give it some gas. He gives it gas, and he's like, good. So I go to put the cover back on. He's like, don't put the cover on. I said, well, Burton, this thing's loud. It's cold. And here, he's like, no. He goes, here, Bridget's will be fine. Because his wife's like, I'm cold. It's February, so she takes some blankets, throws some big blankets, got a sleeping bag on her we had, on top of her, and he's okay, I'm fine, leave it off, and he takes off. So he's just heading down Route 9, Northeast Extension Way, doing 100 miles an hour. We don't know how far behind him now, me and her father. Her father's thinking, what a moron, just going like crazy. And all of a sudden we can see, coming down the road, getting closer and closer, you can see the back lights, tail lights, and it's the van. And we're catching up to them, and they got headlights on, but the headlights are getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer because it isn't charging. Mm-hmm. And finally, now we're going like maybe 35, 40 miles an hour. We're going, and we're right on their ass, and we look in the van, and you get the back windows, and all you see is the silhouette like this come up. One of the monkeys' heads. Right? One of the monkeys is loose in the van now, right?
Jeez.
So we got our headlights on it, right?
The monkey got out of the cage.
I got out of the crate. So Bill's like, holy shit, what are we going to do, Roland, right? And I guess there's his daughter in the van. We got Burton there. And you see the monkey.
The monkey's looking at you.
He's blowing on a horn.
I'm screw shit up
our
here.
lights, We're blowing on the horn, flashing our lights. And my buddy in the van, he was like, yeah, I'm good,
Yeah, we're good.
He's going for gold now. The van's not,
making it.
He's got giving it more fuel and everything he's got, So now we come to a little downhill. Now he's getting a little more speed, maybe like 40 miles an hour. But you see the monkey get up, and you see the monkey jump to the seat, then jump to the next seat, because
he's going up front.
Jump to the next seat, and as I said, now the van's like almost completely dark, just our headlights on it. Nobody around. It's like 2 in the morning. Nobody around, and all of a sudden you see the monkey jump right on my buddy, the driver.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. The door opens up. He bails out.
He jumps out of the van?
Out of the van, going down the road, right? And we're just starting to go down the hill a little bit, picking up a little bit of steam now, right? So he jumps out. I'm going to say it's 37, 38 miles an hour. He jumps out, and he's like looking at us like this. It's like a deer in the headlights. And
he bails.
Yeah, he bails, and he goes into this roll, and he jumps up, and he expects us to stop. And her father's like this going down the road, and he looks at him, and he's like, fuck you. It's my daughter in the van. So we look, and the monkey is sitting on the steering wheel. So this is honest to God story.
The monkey's driving the van.
So the monkey is heading down the road, actually on the steering wheel. We can see Bridget.
He's like, oh my gosh.
She don't know what to do. She doesn't want to jump out of the van.
But he's not on the accelerator, so at least it's slowing down, right?
Well, if you gave
it's
gas,
going downhill.
There's no more fuel. Yeah, we're going downhill though. So it's cruising. So we're probably getting close to 40 now. It's cruising good, right? So and we're just seeing the outline of this, the silhouette. So the monkey actually leans like this, and the van goes. It starts bouncing down the side of the road and just kapoof right in its side. Flops over on its side.
Rolls over.
Yep. So it's sideways now.
Oh.
So we pull right behind it. We stop. Burton's somewhere running down the road chasing us. Well, we lost him. We left him out there. We didn't stop for him.
Dude,
so he's
that
running
guy,
down the road chasing
I can't
us.
believe he jumped out of the car.
Right. I jump out of the thing. Her father jumps out. I run over. Bridget, you all set? She's like, yeah, I'm good. I said, you got the blanket? So I seen her with the sleeping bag she had on because the motor being open. I said, stay covered up. Don't let this thing bite you because it's got the herpes.
It's got herpes.
So she's like, oh my God. So she's staying in the van. She's all covered up. Burton comes running up now. He's like, oh, that monkey got loose. I had to bail. And her father's like,
Yeah, you're
an
fired.
asshole.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know. So we got the lights on the van. The van's on the sideways. It's got 2 swing doors like this in the back. The van opened, doors like that opened up. So the doors are sideways now. So you can open one this way. And luckily, so we took the bottom one, opened the bottom one, then we could open the top one. I said, listen, my drug box is in the back here, in the back door. And I got
Tranquilize
a
him.
little pistol in there and everything. I says, open the door, I'll reach in, I'll see if I can feel it, and I'll pull it out of there. So we get the doors configured so we can open them. We're watching the monkey. I'm saying, Bridget, stay with the... She's good, she's covered up. The monkey goes back to the front of the van. We open the door. I reach in, and this crate's flipped over. There's a couple more monkeys in crates, and they're flipped over. It's all dark, and I can't see. I reach down, feel it's a fishing box. I feel it, pull it out. Get my drugs now. I got a little pump up dot gun. I said, okay, so this is the deal. I'm going to get a gun, a dot. I'm going to load it up. You're going to open the door, and I'm going to try to tranquilize the monkey. We got no nets with us, no nothing. So she's in the van, right? We're on the side of the road. So he says, okay. So I take the dot. I load, tranquilize the dot up, a little bit of ketamine. Get the thing all pumped up. I'm like, okay, on the count, get ready, on the count of 3. And I go 1. And I said, oh, wait, here comes a car. Pulls right up to us.
Cop.
Turns his lights on. Cops. State trooper. I'm like, oh, man.
And you got a gun on
I got
you.
a gun on a rollover scene at like 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 guys are sitting there, 2 old guys. I'm like, oh, this don't look good. This guy gets out. This guy made Cannon look like his brother. I mean, they were like the same size.
Yeah, big dude.
Monster dudes. This big black state trooper comes over. And I got the gun. I'm like, hey, look, officer, this is not a real gun. Nobody was driving. The monkey was driving the van. No one's drunk. I said, I swear to God.
The monkey was driving.
I said, and the monkey's got the herpes virus, so we can't let him get bit.
Christ.
And his wife's in the van underneath that blanket.
got the herpes.
And I got and
Oh, no.
this cop looked at us,
He's got herpes.
and he looked at me,
We got to get the monkey out.
and he said, is anybody hurt?
I don't
I
know.
says, no.
No.
Yeah, not yet. Nobody
I
has
said,
heard.
no. I says, no one's hurt, but the monkey was driving. I'm telling you, I'm going to tranquilize him with this gun here. He looks at me and he says, I'm out of here. I swear to God.
I'm out of here.
Right? I got witness to this fact.
I'm out of here.
He says, I'm out of here. He gets in his car. He didn't. It was so cold.
I would.
He didn't want to be out of there.
So herpes monkeys on the
Could you
on the
imagine
loose.
him trying to write this report up?
No.
He said nobody was hurt.
I pull
Yeah.
up to a scene
Well,
of
the scene, the guy
a
yells
van.
out, "A herpes monkey on the loose."
I see
Don't
a
get
man
bit.
with a tranquilizer gun pointed towards a van, rolled over, saying there's a herpes-infested monkey on the loose.
Yeah.
And there's a girl in
And
the
there's a
van.
girl inside the
I
van.
looked at my manual quick. There
and
wasn't in
I don't
there.
know how to explain this.
So I
So
left.
guess what? I never was here. I was never here. I was never here.
So yeah, so she just didn't want nothing to do with it. So he just gets in his car and leaves us there. I'm like, that was weird. I mean, he's probably thinking the same
That
thing.
was the weird thing.
odd.
He's probably thinking the same thing as he's driving down the road. That was weird, So, so I get the van. We get all reset again. I said, okay, open the door. So they open the door, and I'm looking. I can see him bobbling around there, through the lights and everything. And I take some stuff in away. One of them in his crate, and I push his crate off to the side a little bit. I get ready. I take a shot. He's only 10 feet away. I can hit him at 50 feet away, no problem. I miss him completely. I miss him. I see a little dot go hit the front windshield, flip around the van. It makes a little spark when it goes off. I miss him completely. He makes a leap right at me, comes right at me. I was telling him to close the door, and I was trying to get the door closed behind me, because I don't want him to get loose on the highway.
Yeah.
He'll be screwed.
Yeah.
He jumps, lands in his crate, is open. He lands right in the crate because he couldn't see it was black, and I closed the door on him, caught him right in the crate.
So he was in the crate.
Yeah.
No tranquilizer.
No tranquilizer.
No herpes.
I caught him
No
on the side of the
herpes.
road. Nobody bit, problem solved. But that cop, he just looked at me and he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. This was not in my training manual.
There's so many people out there that wish that the monkey jumped in the crate and you just closed the door without herpes, but
Yeah.
they didn't get the door closed and they have herpes. Oh my gosh, that is wild. So so after that, he's in the crate, the van's on its side. Then what? Then what
We
happened
took
after?
everything, put all the crates with the monkeys, put it in the motorhome. drove back to New Jersey. It was maybe to the 9th extension, was maybe a couple hours. Drove back to New Jersey. The next day I went and got a 1-ton tow truck for my buddy who has a repossession company. Went up there and flipped the van over and brought the van back with us.
That is
an
insane story, and I can see why Matt Light loves that story because he is full of mischief.
Yeah, with like herpes monkey jumping all over the place.
Well, it was the best part was the state trooper.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Never forget it.
In all seriousness, I do the same thing. If I was a state trooper, like pull up, okay, you got a herpes monkey jumping around, you got a trank dart, there's people, you know what?
I don't want to do
it's above my pay grade.
I really
See you guys later.
But yeah, Matt loves that story there.
That is a great story. I mean, this is the first time I've heard this story, and it's live on the show. And I'm just telling you, I'm blown away. I am blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. Fred's blown away behind us right now. Eddie, sorry. Freddie. I was going to say Fred Mercury.
I see why you did that.
Oh, Freddie Mercury. Is it Eddie or Freddie Mercury?
No, it's Freddie.
It's Freddie.
That's why you did the mistake.
That's why I did that mistake.
Yeah, it's Freddie Mercury.
It's Freddie Mercury?
Yes.
And Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands. You ever heard of Edward Scissorhands?
Never once.
Where did that come up?
So listen, okay, so I'll tell you a funny story. So now we're on stories. When I got knocked out against the Seahawks years ago. So I had to go to Boston Medical to do my brain
scan?
Whatever. I have to go to a doctor.
All right, sir, you have CTE.
I got knocked out. So I go to the brain doctor, and he's like giving me all these names of remember dinosaur, trash can, blanket, all these different words, and then they go through another thing, and then you come back 20 minutes later and they ask you the same thing, but then in between they give you all these different things. And
you're finger painting.
I passed, and I played the next week. Probably shouldn't have played, but Paige was with me, and she goes, all you have to do is when they say the dinosaur, think of a T-Rex in a trash can. Think about throwing the T-Rex into a trash can and covering the trash can with a blanket, and then whatever word, just make a story up and then you remember it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Good thing you didn't hear the herpes monkey story.
So I would have been
herpes monkey. Herpes monkey. The state trooper left, and I don't know what happened.
So earlier when I said Freddie Mercury, Eddie and Freddie are two different names. So when I said Fred, because I thought Fred Mercury, which is Eddie Mercury, I don't know. This is ridiculous. This is a terrible story, and I blame it on
CTE.
I blame it on the Wormtown. That I've had 4 of these Wormtowns right now, and the monkey stories that have me messed up. Okay. And the film crew can't laugh in the background. Okay? Cut! You can't laugh behind the camera. All right, Eddie?
It's a live studio audience. What do you want?
All right, well, let's get back to the real deal here. Let's get back to
45 minutes here.
We're at 45.
Has to be one of the craziest stories I've ever heard, though.
That is a crazy story. And
Bridget, that was her favorite story.
That is a great story.
Yeah, I mean, how couldn't you if you lived through it?
Tragically, she died in the fire a few years later.
What?
Yeah, they had a fire at the zoo in New Jersey. Yeah.
So the herpes monkeys didn't get her?
No, the herpes monkey.
Yeah.
So a fire, but like there was a fire at the zoo?
Yeah, the house she lived in, she was raising some baby animals in the house. And she had a heat lamp, and it caught fire, I guess. And that was a big huge log cabin, and it went up, and she ran back in
to go get him,
to go get her mother, and she didn't know that one of the kids who worked for me went up the back,
and got
watching the ladder, got the mother out. She went back in, the house collapsed on her.
Oh man!
Wow. Yeah, so she was only 45 years old. So
that's
pretty sad, but that's my tribute to her, because she just, we had such a good laugh over that. We always would laugh over that thing there. At the time, we weren't laughing, but
That's terrible.
Yep.
But,
so on the Tiger King, you've obviously seen it, right? You've seen it. I mean, everybody's really seen it. What do you think of that documentary?
It's so wrong. Everything on there the facts they're using is none of it's right.
It's all, but
None of it's right.
yeah.
The Carol Baskin, her saying that when she got her lions, her first tigers and this or that, the dates are all wrong, the years are wrong. I talked to my friends. I brought her one of her first tigers, and the dates are way wrong. I mean, she's off by years.
So it's all TV, like made to be a big.
Yeah, there's just.
It's dramatized. That's what it is.
Yeah, but the facts on everything's just so wrong. There's nothing right to it, you know. And
but I mean,
I've dealt with him a few times.
Tiger King for president, like that's that's a lot.
He was definitely. I knew he'd show up at some of the sales I was at and everything else, and my friends who knew him better from the Midwest, they were like, "Just stay away from him. He's a moron.
He's a weirdo."
I bought a mountain lion off of him, and I sold him a couple small fisher cats. Yeah. But other than that, I knew who he was, but I didn't get into any deals with him.
He's in for
the people that like lost their limbs, like feeding them, or like just having their hand near there.
Yeah, well, like that girl that she had to be a meth head.
Yeah.
There ain't no way she went back to work 2
Yeah,
days later.
like I lost my arm, and 2 days later, I'm like, I'm feeding the cat.
Yeah, like, hey, like,
Josh, I mean,
something not great or wired odd that keeps you coming back. Here, I'll give you minimum wage, and I'll give you some of this, whatever.
If a lion bit my arm off, I wouldn't go near a lion again.
I know an older gentleman, I'll say, he's probably dead right now, but he lost a good hunk of his arm, and the lion got him one night and pulled all the skin off his arm, the skin, the meat right down to the bone.
Lion took all the skin off.
And he was 70 years old, and he'd show up in Florida, him and his wife. He's from Arkansas, an old animal guy. He was, what the Beatles were for rock and roll, he was like that for the animal business, for the private people, with the animals and everything, And he pulled to Florida. We had a big farm down there, and lost all that there, and he had a weight behind the seat and a pulley attached to his roof in his F-350, and he'd be chugging on the road, working that arm, building his muscle back up and everything, him and his wife, and just...
Right back at it.
Yeah, right back at it. But the lion got a hold of him, got his arm in a cage, and just peeled it right off him. But that's what it was, 1 or 2 claws in him, and you couldn't get away.
I don't know if a lion bit my arm off. I'd kind of be like,
I have like
even the false limb. I'd be like, I don't know if I want to put this thing like
your arm might come off easier than mine. Mine's a little bit.
I don't know.
It's a little bit more firm as far as mine's leathered. Yours is soft and supple.
You're 37 years old.
You're younger than me.
35.
Yeah, so your arm would come off way easier.
No, your arm would come off easier.
All right, well, I think that's time for a break. We've had some serious stories here, the best that we've had on the Dan and Ninko show. And I want to thank Roland.
That's the best you got?
No, this is some good stuff.
A herpes monkey driving a car.
There is a monkey be like, I have herpes. Driving. But we want to thank Roland. We want to thank Southwick Zoo. We want to thank everybody. And we'll be back in a moment. We're going to talk about Julian Edelman's retirement. It's sad. It's a sad day.
And taking a shot at your boy, I think.
Which one?
Brady.
Tom?
Yep.
All right. We'll be back.
All right.
And we're back, the Dan and Ninko show. Okay, so we have gone through the tour. We have had some amazing stories by Roland. We've gone through the Freddie Eddie. I don't give a shit. We'll figure it out eventually.
It's Freddie Mercury.
It's Freddie Mercury or Eddie Mercury? I don't.
Freddie Mercury.
Bump, 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 bump. All right, so
Freddie Mercury.
Now we are going to get into the Patriots and the recent retirement of Julian Edelman. The man, the myth, the legend, the Mr. Clutch, Julian, the incredible Edelman. I mean, we came in together, me and Julian, 2009. We're great friends. We've had some off the field great times. We've had some, benders at the bar, having a good time.
You ever like go toe to toe with him in practice or anything over something?
No, he tried to block me, but he can't. He can't block me. He's too small. But Julian is hands down the toughest.
Oh yeah. There ain't anybody tougher than him.
No, and like his dad, Fred, Edelman and the things that he...
Yeah, Fred or Ed?
Fred. It's Fred.
Okay.
It's Freddie. Actually, it's Frank. It's Frank. Frankie. Is Frank and Fred the same?
No.
It's not?
I don't think so.
No, that's not Frankie Flintstone.
Yeah.
Frank?
It's,
so
it's
is there...
Frank
is
is
it,
Francis.
Frank is Francis and
so.
Fred is Frederick?
Frederick. Yeah.
See, I don't get that. I don't get that whole, like...
How?
So if my name's Robert, like, people call me Bob? Like, that's so stupid. It's like the
one
dumbest...
letter, though.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I've never
What
liked
about
it.
Robert?
Robert
Robbie?
is my full name.
What about Robbie?
Robert is my full name.
I know, but what about Robbie?
Oh, we got some interference going on here. Yeah. So we're going Edelman. Julian Edelman retires, and look, toughest guy I've ever known.
Yep.
Hard nosed, like underdog. Never say never. Just the guy's tough. The guy's tough, and he's a hard nosed kid. You know, grew up.
7th round draft pick.
Frank the Tank. Frank Edelman. You know. Auto worker, has his own auto shop, you know, had him out there at 3 years old, you know, bouncing footballs off his head, just made a tough kid. And, you know, I have a ton of respect for Julian. I can't say enough about Julian.
Yeah.
The guy's tough as nails. He's come up in the biggest moments. The big talk now, which I think is stupid and unfair, the second he retires, literally the day he retires, people
is he in the Hall of Fame?
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
It's 4 years later that you can even make that argument.
I think it's stupid to even say that. Why don't you just give him like the hey, you had a great career, you've done a great job for the Patriots, you've won a lot, you've got 3 Super Bowl rings. You're a Super Bowl MVP.
That are doing that. It's like national
everybody,
news.
but you know, you turn the radio on and it's all like, is Julian in Super Bowl? Is he in the running of a Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
because he won the Super Bowl. Everyone's like, well, he's won 3 Super Bowls, so he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, let's answer the question: is he a Hall of Famer?
In my eyes, yes, because he's my friend.
In my eyes, not my friend, but he is a Hall of Famer. You know, because at the end of the day,
he's clutch.
Like Hines Ward's a Hall of Famer.
But
right?
here's the thing: would you rather a guy in the Hall of Fame that's won nothing as far as no postseason?
That's the problem.
Because the pressures and those big moments of like rising to the occasion, I feel like are bigger than a regular season game. Where if you're, I know. If you're like a guy that played for the Lions, you probably don't have a shot to be in the playoffs. But
I think to be in the Hall of Fame, you have to win at least one Super Bowl. Yeah, right. I mean, like because that's the
to be
mecca,
in the Hall of
right?
Fame. To be in the Hall of Fame. But then you look at like Dan Marino.
But again, though, if you can't, you're the most valuable player, right? So part of being the most valuable player is elevating.
So here's my question to you. So Julian had like 6,000 yards receiving.
Yeah.
Wes Welker had probably 10. Around 10.
Yeah.
I think 10. Would you put Julian in over Wes?
Well, I ask you this question. Could they have won the Seattle Super Bowl without Julian Edelman? Could they have won the Rams Super Bowl without Julian Edelman?
No.
So there's your answer, right? He's a Hall of Famer. And at the end of the day, too, like Hines Ward's a Hall of Famer.
Super Bowls? No,
right?
so
is Hines Ward a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay. But Hines Ward gained a ton of yardage with
the Super Bowl,
but they
with
weren't
Pro
good,
Bowls,
though.
with
the
all
Patriots
pros.
were always good, so you never had those fourth quarter games that you're down by
now,
20.
If you put Hines
and they're playing
Ward,
prevent defense and you're running
if
under
you put
routes.
Hines Ward on the Patriots, would he have more stats than he did as a Steeler?
You'd have less stats.
You think he'd have less?
Yes, because you're winning more games, so you're not going into games, you know, that you're down 20 in the fourth quarter and the defense is playing prevent. You know, just trying to force something, and you have all these under routes.
The issue that I have with the whole Pro Bowl, Pro Bowls are fans voting.
No,
it's
Pro Bowl
stupid.
Don't matter. It's Super Bowls.
It's so stupid.
It's Super Bowls.
But
100% Super Bowls. It's like the argument, right?
I think Julian obviously is red coat. He's a Patriots Hall of Famer. Like,
immediately.
First year ever available.
They should do away with.
Do it right now.
Yeah, don't even do the waiting period.
The Hall of Fame. The only issue that I see as the Hall of Fame is the whole statistics plus the fan, people that aren't Patriot fans are going to be like, no, there should be this other guy, this guy.
Yeah, but it's like every year, right? Like somebody could have not great stats, but they make the Pro Bowl, right? Because they had 2 years ago they had great stats because the fans vote them in and stuff like that. Pro Bowls don't mean anything. It's Super Bowls that mean everything.
Pro Bowls are stupid.
Playoffs mean everything.
Yeah.
Julian's what, third all time in playoff receptions?
Second
all time to Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
right?
Jerry Rice. Yeah.
I mean,
But you're
Jerry
gonna
Rice
have
was
those.
the first ballot
You're
Hall
gonna
of
have
Famer?
like those guys that are like, well, if he was on the Patriots, there's no way he gets those. Should we make sure? Hold on, we got some serious calls coming in for Roland.
Yeah, there
Let's
could
make
be an
sure-
orangutan out on the
Let's
loose.
make sure we don't have
No
a lion
herpes
on the
monkey.
loose.
Hey, Rob can't defend against the herpes monkey.
No, I'm in trouble with that.
I was like waiting for me to look up, and like on top of this post, there's just
Yeah.
a monkey like staring down at you.
Dude, just
Like
sitting
the
there.
hyena?
No, a monkey sitting there like.
All right.
Just pass right out.
Julian Edelman, Hall of Famer. I think that he should be in the Hall of Fame just
100%.
based on I have 2 Super Bowl rings because of Julian's performances.
You wouldn't have had him.
and I wouldn't have had him without it. So
Don't you
yes.
remember when he got like knocked out in Seattle?
Yeah,
When
I
he got
remember.
right up?
He's been knocked out a bunch of times.
I know, but that was like the premier game. He was literally like knocked
yes,
out.
he got the whole like.
Yeah, and,
then he just
came
kept
like
going.
running up, and he was running and everything. But he then made another catch after that.
Yep.
The Atlanta game, he doesn't make that catch. What happens? You know, I mean,
I mean-
I think he's hands down Hall of Famer just because of what he's done.
I'm biased because I'm his teammate and I played a long time with Jules and we have a great friendship. So yes, I'm 100% on the Julian Hall of Fame bandwagon. And now that he's gone, I kind of feel a little bit different about the Patriots in a sense of they're losing that toughness, that guy that you look at. You look at that guy, you lose Tom, you lose Julian now, you lose Gronk, you lose all these different guys.
But you've always lost them though.
Yeah, but there's a difference between losing the Julians and the Toms and
But
losing like
you lose like McGinnis, Slater, Vrabel, Brewski.
you could lose all those guys, but you lose Tom and Jules, like those are like your go-tos. Like this is what
But
the
you do have the
Patriots look
film
at.
though to go back and go like, this is the guy.
But they're
you
not
need to be.
there. They're not there to witness every day how they function, how they work, how they
But you still
know,
have
go
like
about
Slater,
their business.
You still have McCourty, Hightower, Van Noy's back.
Maybe Hightower. Like he'll be there this year. But that's just the way of the business. The business just constantly
you
moves.
have to keep
and
moving with it.
that's why I think that they're going to go and get a quarterback. They need a quarterback.
They're
if they
out
don't get a
scouting
quarterback,
today. They're scouting
Mac
Fields.
Jones, right?
No, Fields.
Oh, Fields is
Fields
today.
second pro day. You got.
So I think
you have McDaniels, Ziegler.
I think that
Groh there.
Jones is gone. Mac Jones is going to be gone.
He's taking the third.
He's gone in the third, and they're going to go get like a young, quick, mobile quarterback,
gonna
so
get
you could
Fields
team
or
that up.
Lance?
Yes.
Fields or Lance.
Fields or Lance, that's my 2 picks for quarterback position. I think that those 2, they're going to move up. They're going to go get them so they can have that guy on the field with Cam. It's going to be an interesting season.
Do you think,
I'm
you
excited
think Josh
for the
has
year.
more has more say in this pick now?
I
than he
think
has
Josh is
before?
excited. I think that he has a stack of napkins of plays that he's drawn up, and he's like, "This is what I want to run, but I can't do it with that guy that can't throw."
He went to his mom's basement. And
Yes,
like, give me all
It's
the
like,
plays.
Give me all
up.
the plays that I know a young quarterback can run, and Cam can be on the field together with this guy, and then we can, make the defenses go crazy. But I think that's a perfect spot to wrap up this
it's good-
episode.
but it is good though with Cam and like a Fields
Yeah.
or Lance.
So that's
you're
what I'm
okay
saying.
with that, then.
I'm saying a
'Cause you weren't
Cam
okay
and a
with Cam.
Fields. We're gonna wrap this episode up with
You're
Cam,
okay with it now.
Cam in a athletic quarterback.
Yeah.
Those guys on the field
You're good
are
with
going to
that.
cause defensive fits. Julian's a Hall of Famer,
Yep.
and Roland is a legend.
Yeah. I mean, you battle herpes monkeys.
Herpes
and,
monkeys and tranquilizers and boxing kangaroos. And
you throw it the quick left hook
the
and it
quick
goes away.
left, and the guy just, take the shovels. Get off of me! Get off of me! But yeah, so we had a great time at Southwick Zoo. If you haven't been here,
You have to check.
you
it out.
have to come here. You have to check it out. It is a amazing spot. And then afterwards, with the kids, you can have a great lunch like we did, and you can have a few beers like I did. And I don't know the difference between Fred, Ed, Rob, Bob, all those different names. I'll blame it on football. So thank you so much.
And we'll see you guys next week.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Roland, you have anything to close it up?
Nope, just have a good one.
All right, I'll be here in a couple weeks to wrestle a how big is that?
Alligator.
11-foot alligator.
11-foot alligator. maybe I'll give you some clips, just some little
You get the
clips.
people's elbow.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
drop it like Adam Sandler would in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Apple, Spotify, the whole 9 yards. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
See you.